Hello, and welcome to my little Abelishis 3. I made this one for a very obvious reason. To let off with a cliffhanger. So anyway, let's get started. Chapter My Little Abelishis 3. A strong body, but a weak mind. I'm in blackness again, like I was last time, when I blacked out, but this time feels different, like something is killing me this time, trying to take me. In the hospital, doctors rushed down a hallway on my hospital bed. Two doors burst open and they rushed me in. I hear a voice in the darkness say, "He's not breathing." Another voice says, "His pulse is almost gone." Another voice says something, but I don't get to hear it because my ears finally stop working. In the hospital room, a doctor says, "We don't have time to figure out what's caused this. We have to bring him back now and then figure it out." He picks up a device and says, "Clear." He sends the bolts through my body, trying to get my heart to work again. He says, "Clear," again, and jump starts my body again. This time my heart monitor starts beeping, and I open my eyes and I jump up, gasping for air. My chest hurts from not breathing. I look at them and smile and say, "Thank you." The doctors look at me, look at each other, then back at me. I drop my smile and say, "What? What is it?" Outside, in the waiting room, Abel and the girls are holding hooves. A daughter walks up to them. Abel says, "Well?" The doctor says, "We brought him back." Abel and the girls scream out of joy. The doctor says, "But..." Abel and the girls look at him. The doctor says, we have to sedate him so we can look into his head and see what caused everything." Twilight says, but what if it happens again while he's sedated?" The doctor says, "That is a possibility, but if we don't look and figure out what caused it, then how can we save him?" They all look at the ground. Abel says, "Okay, I understand." Tears go down his cheeks and he says, "Just please don't lose him." The doctor says, "We will do our best." Ramesh grabs the doctor by his chest with tears in her eyes, and she says, "Listen, buddy, this is our brother, and in there, my brother, the nicest guy you can meet. Don't dare lose him. He'll do more than your best. Got it?" The doctor nods and says, "Got it, Miss Dash." She looks up at him and says, "You better, or I'll make you pay if you lose him." The doctor nods again and walks away. Hours go by. Abel sits in his chair, looking down at the floor. Twilight puts her hoof on Abel's. He looks up at her. She smiles at him and says, "He'll be okay. He's too stubborn and tough not to be. He'll see." In my room, I'm finally woken up. I sit up and say, "So, what's wrong with me?" A doctor sighs and says, "You got a brain tumor. It's killing you." I say, "Well, can you take it off?" The doctor says, "Afraid not. It's been there for quite a while, Mr. Chastain. You didn't notice anything?" I say, "I've been getting out of breath easier and tired sooner, but I figured that was from old age." The doctor says, "Afraid not. The tumor is affecting your brain's control over your lungs and arms and legs." I say, "And you can't stop it?" He shakes his head and says, "I wish I could, but no, I can't." I sigh and say, "I see. How long do I have?" The doctor says, 5 or 6 months, and, if you're lucky, a year. I look down at the white cover that's all too familiar to me, and say, "Thank you, doctor. I know you did everything that you could." He nods and says, "I'm sorry, Mr. Chastain. I really am." He walks out. I say, "So am I." Abel walks into the room. I put a big smile on my face and say, My Abelishis, come here so I can hug and kiss the pony that I love." He walks up to me and we hug and kiss. Abel says, "What's wrong with you, Dundee?" There it was, the question I was trying to dodge. I say, "Oh, I just overworked my body and brain is all. He said I got to take a load off for a while, and then I'll be fine. Abel says, really? I say, really, Abelishis. I'm not going anywhere. I can never leave you. Abel smiles and puts his face into my chest, crying. He says, I thought I was going to lose you forever this time, Thundy. I hold him tighter and say, it takes more than a jog to take the stallion down. My storm is still rolling, Abelishis, and it will for a long time. I promise. The girls walk in. I make one fatal mistake. I make eye contact with Twilight. She instantly knows what's going on and runs out of the room with tears in her eyes. The other girls know Twilight's reaction and they run out with tears in their eyes. There's only one reason that I fooled my little Abelishis. He wants to believe it so he doesn't see what's in my eyes. I say, hey, why don't we go play some basketball? That will be fun. Come on. Abel quietly follows me back 2 flutters. We had to stop a few times for me to catch my breath, but we get there. Only 2 weeks later, Skulu finally got into the Warner Bolts, and of course, their Nash wanted to do a party for her, so we did. A surprise party at the castle for her. Sophia didn't want to let me come, but she had 6 mayors and my Abel pleading with her constantly to let me go, so she had no choice. Me, Abel, and the girls walk in with the mayor of the hour, Scootaloo. Brony turns to us and cheers. Me, Abel, and the girls smile at her, especially Rainbow Dash. She's so proud of her. Sue smiles and blushes. Pretty soon, we all split up to enjoy the party. Me and Abel go to the punch table. I pour in some punch and hand it to him. He grabs it and says, thanks, Dundee. I smile and say, you're welcome, Abelishis. 2 hours later. Abelishis, any idea where the bathroom is in this place? Abel says, no, sorry, Dundee. I say, it's okay. I leave to look around for the bathroom. I notice Celestia sitting alone out on a balcony. Her head is down. I walk up behind her and say, what's wrong? Celestia looks back at me and says, what do you care? I put my hand on her shoulder and say, I'm sorry. She says, what? I say, I'm sorry. Truly, really sorry. For talking to you the way I have for all these years and trying to kill you. I amaze even myself when I hug her. Her eyes go wide from shock. I say, I will treat you with respect from now on, Princess Celestia. Now please tell me what's wrong. She says, me and Lena are so distant and you and Abel are so close. You're not even the same species, yet you love each other so much. Lena still won't really talk to me all that much. Why can't we be that close? Why can't we be sisters? I look into her eyes and say, start by saying sorry, and then find things that you both will love doing together. Bond with her, and I promise you that y'all will grow closer, Princess Celestia. She smiles at me and says, thank you, Jacob. You really are a good man. I smile and say, thanks. Come on, let's enjoy the party. She smiles and stands up and says, let's. As we walk into the party, I can't believe what I just did. I just comforted Celestia and became friends with her. We found Abel, and all 3 of us enjoyed the party together. After the party, me and Abel go back to Fluttershy's. Me and Celestia didn't get to say goodbye to each other because she had to run off on some urgent real business. I just waved as she left, and then me and Abel left. The next day, me and Abel played basketball together, just laughing and having a great time together. In that small moment, I forget that I'm dying. I just focus on enjoying this moment with my Abelishis. When our game is finished, me losing this time, we both sit down pouring sweat and breathing heavy. We kiss each other real quick. Abelishis says, I love you, Dundee. I smile and say, I love you too, Abelishis. I pull him to me and hold him in my arms. We just yelled that for hours. his warm, black, silky, soft, slender, and shiny body up against mine. How long do I have? How much longer will I get to feel this? The end. Thanks for coming back. Thanks for listening, and see you next time.